Fun. Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Coach's Corner with Coach Cotton, myself, Coach Hadassah, and we have a special guest this evening, Ryahn Rogers from the XtreamFX Young Guns Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program. He's our special guest this evening. It's a lot of things that we're really celebrating today with Ryahn, with our young guns. Is two things actually. One is that Ryahn is everybody. Uh-oh.
No, go ahead. That was me.
Oh,
you
okay.
Good. Go ahead.
I'm like, so yeah, we're celebrating Ryahn two reasons. One, he made the AP honor roll with the XtreamFX Young Guns. Right. The XtreamFX Young Guns mentorship program. And then also his birthday is coming up. His birthday is actually Wednesday. So he'll be 17. He's turning 17. So right now, today and tomorrow, he's 16. But Wednesday, he'll be 17. So we're celebrating him on this day. So welcome, Ryahn.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ryahn. Happy birthday and congratulations. As you guys know, look, Ryahn got us in the last minute trade. Look, while we late because we dealing with these young guns and these trade came out. And look, he happened to train us and help us get into a trade. So look, this corner. Know how I feel about my tips. So I had to put y'all on pause.
And I'm still over here trying to find out how to put the entry. I don't, I don't know if I'm gonna take this straight.
Well, look, I already did mine. Look, and Ryahn, we in this together. Coach Dawson's over here still trying to figure it out. We cannot wait on you.
I know, right? I mean, I know how to enter it by stop loss and stuff, but that entry point, I'm like, okay, wait, how do I get back to that?
Right. So hilarious.
Right. Hilarious. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm taking this one.
You out of this one.
I think I'm out of this one. Because I mean that entry point. I'm off somewhere with that.
Oh, that's hard over here. I've been because you like, wait. But look, you guys, so we are doing a week of honoring. Ryahn is our first guest to be honored for his celebratory accomplishments, trading and learning the skill set of trading. This young man is 16 years old. Ryahn Rogers, who comes out of Chi-Town, right, doing his thing. He teaching us. Look, and see, this is the thing. If y'all don't want to learn from this generation coming up, you're going to be left behind because they're not going toward tradition. They are looking forward to innovative, customized future, right? And so you better get with you a young gun. You better find somebody who's going to help you because these young, innovative thinkers are intelligent and they do not wait. They know that success loves speed. And so that's why he had to get us in this trade. I don't know about Coach. I made it, Coach.
Right. I was trying to get in there at the same time and making sure that we made this live on time before we got kicked out. So I had choices. I had some choices. Right, I had some real tough choices to make with this.
Right. It was like go live or get into the trade. Which one? But you made the adult decision, Coach. That's why we love you. Because look, I was like, we can just reset another one.
Right, we can just reset.
But you made the adult decision. That's why I'm weak at. When it comes to these trades, I'm weak. I'm like, they can wait. Coach really, really love y'all. Look, okay. She's invested.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
trying to
too.
make sure that
She's a little bit more
everybody
invested.
right. So I wanna acknowledge some of the uh let's see, our audience that we have here. So Taria says, "Congrats, Ryahn, and happy birthday." I forgot that we dropped Zoom. So I was just about to ask you. So who do we have on the Zoom? But I
Oh
forgot.
yeah,
We went
where
on
we
a text
dropped it.
name on that. So but it's cool. It's cool. So Ryahn, Ryahn. We have a few questions to ask you. And I don't know if maybe Coach Cotton would like to go
I
first.
do.
Okay, great.
I do,
Great.
Ryan. So you are on a full interview today, right? This may be partially for my own benefit because I need to see, I like to get into y'all head. Like y'all young students, and I need to know what the sauce is, right? I need to know what it's all about. So I'm sure it's not just me. And so if you are open to me asking you a few questions today, Ryan, I would greatly appreciate it. Are you up for that today?
Yes. Yep. Can you hear me? Oh
Cool.
boy.
Okay, so yes, I can hear you. I hear you very clearly. Coach, we sound okay?
Yes.
You can
Yes, I
hear
can
both
hear.
of us?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. So the first question, Ryan, that for you, again, I want to know, sure others who want to know as well, is who would you credit, right, for the way you think, how you operate, how you structure your day to day when you're approaching something new, whether it be a job, a career, an opportunity? Is there an influence?
Yes, it's my mom. I mean, me and my mom is
That's true.
always talking. It's like I learn most of the stuff I know and how to think, meditate, stuff like that from my mom, and then my brother too. My oldest brother. I think I actually forgot how old he is. I think he's like 29 or something like that. But yeah, just my mom and my brother. Those are my main
Okay.
influences.
Nice, 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 nice. That's amazing. And so that's your main influences. And so you kind of say that if you were to take a business opportunity, your mom, Coach Adasa, definitely would be one to be like, yeah, let's partner up with this, or yeah, I think this is a good idea for you, or has she ever told you you need to figure this one out, Ryan?
Oh
Have you ever
yeah,
heard her say
definitely,
that before?
definitely, 100%.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Coach Adasa, speak to
Yeah.
that a little bit. You are a coach, and I don't have any kids, so I know that's kind of a odd, awkward position to be in when you have to be teacher, mom, friend. Sometimes you have to be influencer. You got to be the tough love person. You got to be the encourager. You got to be the one to be like, look, hey, figure it out, Ryan. Go ahead. How does that make you feel, and how do you feel about him? You are a huge influence in his life.
Um well, to be honest with you, I was kind of shocked that he said that. that I'm a main influencer. Um and I know he just had that look on his face like, huh? But I mean,
Right, like why
honestly,
she shocked? Right, he did
I
look like that.
am kind of shocked about that. Um, and well, I would say that first of all, this is what I know and understand about children because we've all been children at some point, right? I mean, we just didn't
Mm-hmm.
come in as adults. We came in as children,
Right.
and we grew up into adults. And
Right.
so I think a lot of times we forget that when we were children, we we were heavily influenced, and our first teachers were our parents. They were.
Right.
Um, and then you go out into the community, whether it's your interactions with your other family members, like cousins and aunts and uncles, grandparents, things like that. And then you're in the community, so if you attended church or some type of um spiritual or religious community, your neighborhood, um things like that. So those are influences too. And then of course, if you watch television, those are
Right.
huge influences, right? And we know that. So um with understanding that and bringing that into adulthood, just knowing and again understanding that children are influenced, and first of all, their first teachers are their parents. Of course, I kept that in mind. And not that like I'm trying to be perfect or anything like that, but it's just kind of that thing where hey, children do what you do, not what you say.
Right.
Or I should say, they will do what you do if what you do. No, they will do what you say if what you say is in alignment with what you do. So
Right.
it's
Wow.
doing, um and then kind of with that just teacher mode. Like, first of all, we come from a family of educators, just anyway. My mom, my aunts, like everybody is an educator. Then I married an educator, and I'm not a formal educator as far as like working in the school system or anything like that, but just because I'm in a environment of teachers, because my mom was a teacher, my father was a master chess coach, my aunts, uncles, all of that, then it's just what I do by nature. And I
Right.
see that in him. He's picked that up, and it's one of the things when paying attention to your children. You Well, if you are the type of parent that pays attention to your children to see, okay, what did they come here for? what
Right.
was the purpose for them coming here on earth? And let me see these things and see them naturally do some things, and then encourage them and put them in environments that will nurture that. um I saw in him the ability to teach, because he's very inquisitive. Like, he pays attention.
Mm.
He asks questions. If he don't know, he will research it and look it up. And I'm like, that's a teacher.
Right.
Like, that's a for real
Right.
teacher. Not not a false teacher, but a for real teacher. So um
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean, that's just pretty much it. Just being attempting to be an example, but also showing that, hey, I make mistakes, everybody's gonna make them. Correct them when you do make them. And that I just believe in teaching children not what to think, but how to think, and then just let them think
Right.
and make
I
decisions.
love that.
Yeah, that's it.
I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome, and it's so great to see that in action. Especially in the family dynamic, to see that by your example and leadership, he's not able to follow those patterns, those steps, and then have a different quality of life, and to not even think that things are abnormal. That's his normality, right? To do something out of the box, right? And so I think that's phenomenal. Ryahn, question two. So Ryahn, tell me, or tell us, it's not just me here, but tell the viewers and everyone who's watching this stream, what drives you? Like, at 16 years old, I remember back in the day, I started working. I was 15 years old with a work permit, right? So I felt like I was already getting it to becoming an adult, doing my adult stuff. I started making my own money, even though I was not out of my parents' house. So it was like a 70-30. But I started to take on some of those qualities of responsibility. And still to this day is helping others, serving, and being in a place where I know I can make an impact. What drives you, Ryahn, at 16 years old, about to be 17 in 2 days?
What drives me? Money? Like, I mean, it's just my goals. Like, I want to be able to create generational wealth for my family, and I'm tired of seeing my dad working so hard and coming home and just being stressed all the time. So I just want to be able to. I just want to be able to retire my parents, pretty much. That's what's really driving me. And then,
Wow.
just be able to buy myself nice things too, because I really like nice things.
Wow. That, Coach Hadassah, I think you got you one. I'm just saying.
Look,
I know you
like,
got 7,
look,
but you got you one. I'm like, right. Go ahead, have your, because that was just, oh my gosh, that response. I'm floored. So yeah, you go ahead and have your moment, because that was powerful. To retire my parents, like, that's so selfless. Oh my God, that's so selfless. And see, Ryahn, you know what you right. Mama right. You need to be teaching your peers, and you need to be an influencer, because every child needs this answer, right? They need to respond just like that. Like, at 16 years old, what 16-year-old, what average 16-year-old is saying that? And so that separates you, Ryahn. A response like that just separates you from the average people. You are the above average. It separates you from the ordinary, because you're extraordinary. And even the way you speak, the way you talk, what you say, you have created an entire separation, division between those regular and basic type of young mentality into something so mature, but that's naturally authentic, to just have that perspective, to have that desire that it's not even so much about me. Because you're 16, you could be out there saying, I want to buy me some Jordans, I want to my cell phone bill, I want the latest, I don't even know what number generation iPhone is on. It's like a iPhone 13 Pro, whatever. You get my point. You could be desiring all these things for yourself, but you want to retire your parents. You have a different goal. I just think it's, for one, commendable. And again, like I said, it's very honest and selfless. And that servitude and honor towards your parents makes the entire difference in the mentality. It makes an entire difference into the goal and the dream. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, God comes and sprinkle the extra sauce, because that was something that you just spoke into the atmosphere. And I know it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I'm seeing it happen live with you as you continue to learn this skill set, as you continue to go through your journey in life, and you're just putting yourself in a different environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, kudos. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, like, I'm like, these are adult answers. We say, oh, I want to make sure I can have the final expenses for my parents laid out, that my family don't work. 16-year-olds ain't talking like you, Ryahn. I mean, you're different, but you're unique. And I love it, because as a man too, that already says to people the influence and the provision that you desire to have, and the responsibility that you're now carrying on your shoulders to help bring generational wealth. And this is what we do in XtreamFX, Ryahn. Of course, you know that. But generational wealth, it should not stop with Coach Hadassah. It should not stop with your father. It keeps going, because children like you and generations like you pick it up and say, hey, I'm going to keep going. And I'm just, look, you did it for me. You did it for me. Coach, what you got to say? I mean, what's happening? Well, we don't hear this. What's happening with this dude? This dude ain't even 17 yet. He ain't there yet. He ain't quite there. What we doing? Who's talking like that?
Well, look, one thing I believe in is having real conversations with your children. And
wow, right.
Yeah, just having real conversations with them. And Ryahn and I have real conversations. we do. We have real conversations. I said that I was going to bring this up. I didn't know how I could bring it on the screen. But let's see. Well, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to try to. But I brought up, you know how Facebook shares like the memories that comes up in your news feed. And so I saw one this morning. And it was, 3 years ago today. And so May 10th, 2018. And this was my caption. And y'all know I'm, metaphysician. I'm into astrology and stuff. So I said, Ryahn is a Taurus sun, Pisces moon, and Leo rising. He will be 14 years old this Saturday, May 12th. These are the books that he selected to read from my bookshelf. So it was 3 books. One of the books is Rich Kid, Smart Kid. The other is called Pay Yourself First. And the other is Smart Money Moves for African Americans.
Wow.
So it says
and he wasn't quite 14 yet. He wasn't even 14. He was almost
right.
14.
He was days away from being 14, just like he's days away from being 17.
Wow.
And those are the books that he was reading. That was on that was on the bookshelf. Right. So the caption goes on to say, after reading Kanye's quote about being a proud non-reader and how he'd rather go out into the world and experience life, I spoke with my children about the importance of both reading and hands-on experience. What I shared with Ryahn is that most experts share their knowledge and experiences through books. They may not be able to reach a million people at a seminar, workshop, or conference. However, they can write a book and sell 1 million copies to 1 million people.
Right.
Now, you being a proud reader, and you being Ryahn. Now, you being a proud reader have some of the knowledge and wisdom that an expert has imparted to you through their writings. After Ryahn read a few pages of his book, he asked me if I made some of the financial mistakes that were listed. I said, yes, we all have, because we weren't taught financial literacy in school. He then said, I'm glad that I'm a proud reader and that I'm reading these books now. I'll have enough time to learn, then invest my money when I get my first job. It's a beautiful thing when you see the ROI, or the return on investment, of the seeds you've planted in your child's mind. Hashtag
wow.
Because
nice.
We homeschool for the past 10, 11 years. So yeah, that was a post I posted 3 years ago in regards to Ryahn. So he's been on this path for a nice little minute.
Wow. Ryahn, I mean, impressive. I mean, like, just me hearing that, and that was 3 years ago. And again, like I said, breathing on 14, not quite there, but the intellectual ability and will to say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and read these now. I'm making a decision to do this. And then you can just see the difference between homeschool and, whether your kid goes to a public institution or something like that, because they're not teaching financial literacy. They're not teaching the basis of how much money, how to obtain wealth. And so just for him to know that you have that material, and then he can go read it, and he's making a choice to do so at 14. And so now it's really no surprise that at 17, he didn't opt for the job, right? Or even if he did, you know, you got a great testimony, Ryahn, that I want you to share. You did apply for a job, but God was like, nope, not for you. You're much greater than that. Not knocking, again, 9 to 5s or regular jobs, but that wasn't your ministry. And now you're in your calling to the point to where you have come so great, and you're on AP honor roll for being one of the advanced traders. Like, you're 16, you're almost 17, and you can teach us. I'm just going, you teaching us older, mature, seasoned, experienced group who are just getting into trading, how to trade, and like, you have been recognized. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is something major, and that's where you can use your gift. You know what I'm saying? Because, and you are. I see you in the chats. I see you corresponding and helping and teaching. You're literally teaching a skill set from what you've been taught. And so if you don't mind, Ryahn, I know your mama had told me, she's like, Ryahn ain't trying to be on here all day, coach. You know, and I'm like, you know what? I want to respect the young guns' time. And then you always talking about you want to eat your hero. Y'all, baby boy got a sandwich over here that we got to get him to.
Yeah, I've been dying to eat this gyro.
So,
hold me back.
Real quick.
He like, can you hurry up? How many more questions you got? This is not being paid. This is not a paid interview. Right? He's like, look, you're gonna have to replace this sandwich. Send me a cash app. But if you could, Ryahn, quickly, just give us a brief, quick testimony on how you went to apply for a job, but that didn't really fare well. It didn't work out in your favor, and now you're trading. And who's thinking about the job? Like, nobody.
All right, so basically, okay, pretty much it was, you know, the start. It was the start of 2021. So, you know, the whole new year, new me type stuff. And I also wasn't doing anything at that point. I achieved my previous goal. I wanted to upgrade my computer. So once I finally did that, I didn't really have anything I was driving towards. I was just sitting in the house doing nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me get a job so I can actually, you know, be productive. So I applied at Longhorn. It was a Longhorn. It's a Longhorn near here. And, you know, I got my ID and everything, preparing for that. Took the interview, and I thought I did pretty well in the interview, but I wasn't hired. So I was pretty disappointed about that for like a day, because, you know, being disappointed won't get me the job. So you could just you shouldn't just stay mad about things for
Ryahn, that's a whole word. That's a whole word.
So after that, after being turned down from the job, and, you know, being disappointed for that day, the next day I'm like, okay, well, I'm not just gonna sit here. So I asked mom about trading. I asked mom about trading, and she put me in. She got me the account and everything, and then when I started marking up the charts and hopping on the lives, I just actually found like a real love for you know, what I'm doing, the trading. And now it's just like, I haven't played a video game in a while now, just because it's hard for me to get away from these charts. It's crazy. But that's pretty much the whole thing right there.
That is amazing. Can I send you my charts, or can you just send me your charts?
He's addicted to the chart.
Look,
I can help you. You
send
send
me
them.
just the other day.
I'll do confirmations, or,
you know.
So you got to do something.
Let me just be honest. Can you just do my charts?
Ooh, you got to pay me for that.
Right. That's what I'm on. I'm like, right. I'm like, let's tag
stop
team.
trying to get a dollar. You a trader.
You take care of the other end.
He talking about, you gonna have to pay me for that. Look, here we go. Look, No, ma'am, I cannot. I love you, but no, you can just cash at me because them charts be serious, but that's where the learning part comes in for you to be the signal, right?
Mm.
I'm not the signal yet. I'm still copy and pasting ideas right now.
Yeah, I was doing that for a while. The ideas is just they good, but they too unreliable for me. I want to be able to take my own trades, you know.
Wow. Well, you know what? I might have to see what I can do because, like I said, y'all learned that quicker. You know, you just picked it up. You was probably doing it a week and then you jumped on live. Saw what they was doing. Like, oh, I can do this, and you did it. Right? You just did it. So
Yeah,
yes,
I was pretty good in about 2 months.
Wow.
No, it was a month, and I was already teaching people, and I think now it's been 2 months and a few days. So yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Wait, Mama, I joined in February. Was it February when I started?
I think so. Yeah, it was February. Sometime in February we started.
Wow.
We put you in.
That's awesome. I mean, I am not hating on you, even though you said you would charge me to do charts, but I get it. I understand. You should charge for charts. But no, Ryahn, look, you are just an impressive young man. I mean, I'm so happy to have been connected to your mom, to now be connected to her generation and her family, and just to see that you are a true leader. You are an influencer amongst your peers, but not just peers, but amongst your generations who are older than you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I appreciate the patience and the time that you take out of your day and your schedule to do anything, whether it's to learn a skill set, whether it's to help someone, to serve in some capacity, to further your own education. Again, to me, it's honor worthy and it's very impressive. And to you, young man, I'm so excited that I get a chance to witness this journey of yours, and I know it's going to be crazy. So whenever you go by your mom and your dad, whatever they want, a jet, a Sprinter, whatever, a new house, whatever it is that you know you desire, I know it'll happen. And I just want to, just somebody send me an invitation. Just somebody send me an invitation. I just want to say, be there. Just be like, I knew dude was going to do it. But I'm super proud of you. I do not want to hold you long because I know you got Young Guns. It's training tonight. I believe it's tonight, Monday night. So I don't want to hold you, but I do want you to end with this last question, a 2-part question. So I did say I wasn't gonna hold you long, but you can answer it as quick as possible. Where do you see Ryahn in 3 years? In 3 years, you'll be 20, because we're gonna just don't have to give you them 2 days. In 3 years, you'll be 20. And then, so where do you see yourself in 3 years? I'm just curious. And then what would you tell younger Ryahn? And we can go back about 5 years.
Okay, I see myself in 3 years sitting on a cool $1 million. Honestly, that's what King Pip always say to me. By the time we 18, we should be sitting on a cool $1 million. So in 3 years, I'm gonna be a millionaire. And then honestly, I don't think I would say anything to younger Ryahn, because mistakes make you who you are. So if I said anything to younger Ryahn, I wouldn't be who I am right now. You got to make those mistakes. So
wow.
He's so
wow. Mistakes make you who you. I mean, I'm like over here like, what y'all feeding him? What y'all doing? Because is it the hero? Like, what are you eating? Because who is speaking like this? Like, I'm 39. I'm like, I know I wasn't talking like that at 16. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I was not even thinking about none of this when I was 16. I was working, and I really was like, I'm just trying to get to Atlanta. I was still in my little hometown of Macon, Georgia, very small country. I was like, I'm just trying to work my way out of Macon, and I was going to the big city, which is an hour and a half away. That's Atlanta. That's what my mind was. If I can graduate high school, I can be free. And so and you're talking about mistakes making who you are. You wouldn't change nothing. I'm blown away, Coach. I want to say to you, like, well done, well done. I mean, you know what? His personality, his attitude, and how he speaks, definitely you can see a lot of him in you, and you can tell just good upbringing, just very wise. That wisdom, definitely he's soaked up and absorbed that. So Ryahn, again, if Coach, your mama don't have nothing to say to you, happy birthday. Congratulations. Cannot wait to see you in just a few days. I'm going to hug your neck, so have your mask on because I don't know about COVID in Florida, but I'm not going to worry about COVID. Okay? I'm going to hug you, but I'm going to have my mask on, and then we can just both sanitize afterwards, okay? Because I got to hug you. Didn't see you when you didn't come on the Atlanta trip. So I'll get a chance to meet you, and I'm super excited for you. Congratulations. Happy birthday. When you get that million, that's not even going to be, you said 18, so we got another year and a couple of days. Wherever y'all go as a family, please tag me on to the trip. Just add me on to, if y'all going to Hawaii, add me on to the trip. I know you, because you're going to do $1 million trip. You're going to do a trip. And I just want to go. Okay. But I love you. I cannot wait to meet you. And again, congratulations. AP on the roll, you guys. This is Ryahn Rogers, Coach Hadassah's son. He trades. He teaches how to trade. Phenomenal guy all around. And his birthday is May 12th. So look, if you know him, if you know Coach, send him some early birthday love, the day of birthday love, and some congratulations because he's 16 and he's doing better than most of us out here. Coach, so you can say something and we can let Ryahn go eat his hero.
Thank you for coming on, Ryahn.
No problem.
You want to eat your sandwich, so thank you.
I'm
so proud of you. You know that I'm proud of you, and you know I'm gonna be texting you on the phone because I need to know about the grades.
About okay. All right. Yeah, I got you.
That's hilarious.
Okay. All right, Ryahn. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ryahn. Thank you. Coach.
Yes.
Coach. Look, I ain't got nothing to say. That's real life. Look, I ain't got nothing to say. Who doing that?
Listen, when I tell you I pray, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I have straight all honor and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Elohim, through Yahshua the Messiah. Like for real.
Yeah.
When I say I am a praying parent, that is not just something to say. Like I am serious because I already know I make big old mistakes. I make big old mistakes. I make some bad decisions.
Child, what you talking about?
And it's like I just don't want it to affect my kids. I don't want to traumatize them. I don't want to do none of that. And so I pray and I ask for leadership and guidance on, listen, Father, what was your purpose for putting them in my womb to give birth to them? And, you put me in stewardship over their lives to grow them up for your purpose. Right?
Right. Wow. Right.
And then, and then be led and guided to do as such. That's pretty much it. When I hear people say stuff like, these children don't come with a manual, I'm like, you're not reading your Bible. That's all I can say. You not reading your Bible. That is the manual. Like, yes, it is. Let's take the religious overtones out of it. And Deuteronomy chapter, what? I think it's like chapter 6. He tell you exactly what to do with your children. I mean, throughout the Bible, he tell you what to do with your children. Deuteronomy chapter 6,
absolutely.
He like, look, teach them when they rise up, when they laying down, when y'all walking by the wayside, when y'all in the field, when y'all never let up on instruction.
Wow. Right.
And then not only that, but you're doing, right? Because again, they do what you do. not necessarily what you
Right.
say, unless what you say lines up with what you're doing. You know,
Absolutely.
the Hebrew
Absolutely.
language, because let's say that Hebrew language is a language of verbs, it's a language of actions. And so with that, we always say, actions speak louder than words. Well, there are words that are verbs, that are action words. And so they just have to line up. That's pretty much it. And
Right.
so that's you know, that's it. And what's this thing? It's like I always see this saying where it says, um, don't give your children everything you wish you had. Teach them everything you wish you knew.
Hello. Wow.
You know, um, I
Wow.
I wish I would have known more about money. I wish I would have known more about financial literacy. Apparently, um, our former generations weren't taught those things. Um, they were taught what they taught us: go to work. I mean, not go to work, but go to school so you can get a good education, so that you can graduate and get a high school diploma and a degree, so that you can get a good high paying job, work there 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire
Right.
and live off of 40% of your income. Well, they didn't even know that part of live off of 40% of your income because they were sold a different dream. Well,
Right.
that that way ended in 1971.
Mm-hmm.
So while our generation were pushed into going to college, and I have nothing against higher education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against higher education. However, that way or that system of, doing that to get a degree and blah, 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 that was out in 1971.
You're right.
But in the 90s, that's when we were 20 years behind the eight ball. 20 years behind. And then now, here we are, like, with the student loan debt, not paid as much in order to pay the debt off, and then to try to justify, because we don't want to feel like or think that we might have been had, that we might have been had. Then it's I don't know, I've heard many different things to attempt to justify it, and there's no justification at all
Mm-hmm.
of it. It's like it doesn't work. I mean, if a job made
Right.
us wealthy, we would all be wealthy. That's A
Right.
job doesn't make us wealthy. A job gives us some income in order to possibly pay our, provide some food, clothing, and shelter. And I said
Mm-hmm.
possibly.
Possibly. Right. Right.
Possibly.
Because that's not a guarantee that that's what it's
Because
gonna
that's not
do.
a guarantee. I mean, listen, you do need, look, a lot of two. Okay, listen, I'm gonna say this. Like, I wasn't always married. Like, I've been, me and my husband been together for 20 years. We've been legally married 19 of them. However, before my husband and I got back together and got married and stuff like that, I was married for, I don't know, at least the first 7 to 10 years, you know, before
Mm-hmm.
before we got together and got married and stuff like that. So I was doing it on my own. And I had 3 children, single parent, 3 children, disabled daughter, doing all of that on
Mm-hmm.
by myself. And
Wow.
I would say, thankfully, I had a skill set that I can set my own prices, my own schedule, stuff like that.
Right.
So, and that allowed me to make a lot of money. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's the thing about it. It's like, man, it's kind of messed up that I went to school for a trade for if I was able to go full time, I would have been there for 9 months. 9 months, and then took a state board test to get a license, right? But I had to go part time, so I was there for 12 months. So in 1 year, got a certificate, a diploma, took the state board test, got my license. So in 1 year, and then look, went to work, built up my clientele, marketing, all of that type of stuff to put myself out there and people know who I am, what I do, all of that. And with the consistency of building a clientele, and it take a good solid 4 to 5 years. So by the time I'm 24, 25 years old, I was making cash. And this, man, you, this back in the 90s though, making cash about $4,000 a month average. But if I worked my butt off, it could have been more. I mean, but think about that. Now, I know educators and other people that have went to college, right? Got degrees and everything, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. And it's taken them 15 and 20 years to get to a tenure to make the money that I was making at 20 something.
Right.
With 1 year part-time in school and a license.
Look, Coach, let me tell you, I was watching Adrian. It don't add up. And the thing about it, to your point, I was listening to Adrian Sloan. He was doing a live, and he said, definitely not knocking college, went to college and everything, got degrees as well. But he said the A students will work for the C students.
Yes.
Blew my mind.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you're saying. That's exactly what you're saying, because it doesn't guarantee you to earn the income or even get the job in the field that you went to school for. You may not even get that job.
Yep.
Crazy.
And here's the thing about it, because we have to understand what that is. In there, okay, in the educational system, okay, the word academia, right? Academics, academia. What does it mean? That word means theory. It means theory.
Wow, right.
So when we academy, academics, academia, it's theory. But when you're learning a skill set, that's practical.
Right.
That's practical. Academia, this is all in your head.
Right.
It's theory, all in the head. And then you're trying to figure out how can you put to use. Now there's a thing called, and it's funny because I'm downstairs in the basement, and before this used to be a homeschool area. I had all the posters and everything up here, so I still had this poster over here on the side. And there's a scientific method, right? Where it begins with, and I'm gonna read it. It's off here. I mean, I could read it off my head because I know the scientific method, but it begins with the question. You have to research the subject. You make your hypotheses. Let me move this. Experiment, analyze the results, make a conclusion, report the results, do it again. Now, here's the thing about the scientific theory or scientific method. You basically taking a theory and you putting it to the test. And you have to repeat it or put it to the test over and over and over again. And now, if you do that same test and it continues to come out the same way, or it comes out with the same results over and
Yeah.
over and over again, then that's when it's no longer a theory. It's a fact,
Right. Right.
right? That means you have to put that theory to the test. Like what we say that all the time. Every true vision must be tested for
Test
authenticity.
it with authenticity. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
And so that's pretty much what happens. So it kind of remind me of when when I was in beauty school back in the day, and we had these workbooks. I still have them. You got the theory, you have the textbook, you had the theory workbook, and you had a practical workbook. Child, when I tell you I hated
Mm-hmm.
that doggone theory book, I couldn't stand it. Why couldn't I stand it? I'm like, this don't make sense. What? And it wasn't.
Right.
I'm not. I didn't say like it didn't make sense because I couldn't understand it. No, that wasn't it. It didn't make sense because I'm like, this is stupid. Why
Right.
y'all wasted
There's no
paper?
truth. Like you gotta figure that out.
Right? It's like, what do you mean? Well, what'll happen if I put if you got relaxer in somebody's eyeballs? It's gonna burn it, and they basically put their eye out. They could go blind. What do you mean? Like, that's common sense. I was like,
Right. Right. But
I'm like,
theoretically, though, what would happen?
well,
Theoretically.
right. Theoretically, I'm like, this is a waste of time. Why did y'all waste paper and ink on this book? Right? I would be so mad. I'm like, do we really have to do these pages? I'm like, this don't make sense. But that practical, it's like, yes, look, how to
Mhm.
ABC 1, 2, 3, how to step one, da 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 da. Okay, all in it
Yes.
because you want to. At least that's how I was. It's like I want to get to work. Give me a how
Right.
to. You know what I'm saying? And then get this thing going. Well, a lot of people, because their minds have been, there's this thing called neuro linguistic programming,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much what has happened. So when we're sitting here and we're just like, hey, we don't understand how, where it's like we're not understanding what people don't understand about something as simple as, if you want to change your life, you want to change your situation, and you see that what you're doing is not
Right.
working, then we have a way, right? Like, you can, not
Right.
saying leave right now, but we have some steps to help you through the process of hey, get an opportunity, a home-based business with an academy, like with this digital product of XtreamFX Global Academy, right? You do that
Right.
part, you
Right.
build that up, you start building that up to the point to where you double the income that you're making on your full-time job. And then once you do that and you see, you're in this flow, then if you want to come out of that and you're ready to get rid of it, I mean, just go. And we see that as something simple, but there's a reason
Mm-hmm.
why they can't see it like that, because of that program.
Right.
you know that's hard to get out of. And you know what changes the mind a lot of times, what'll get people out of that, we because we hear Megan said, you get out of that thinking, that stinking
The
thinking. but
stinking thinking. Yeah.
but what it really is that's programming. The mind has been
Right.
programmed a certain way. Those
Right.
neural pathways. It's like going down, like you're going to you're going a certain place, and you're going down that same path in order to get there. And so all of
Mm-hmm.
those other ways to get or to go to a new destination is not activated. You don't even know that they exist. It's like you have to make new roads or trails in order to get there, and that takes time. And
Right.
it takes like to get the fear and all of that. So people do have to be coached through, because it's just not there. They've been programmed a certain way. With neuro
Right.
linguistic programming, you can reprogram the mind, but they've been programmed a certain way. So it does take some time. And a lot of times what happens is, in order to break that, unfortunately, it takes trauma. It takes trauma. That's what I've learned, because I do a lot of brain study, right? Because that's where everything is from the brain. So we have to study the brain. We have to study the mind. We have to study the psychology so that we know how to really deal with people, right? But a lot of times it does take a traumatic event in order to shake folks up in their mind. And then when they feel that they go through that trauma, they feel that pain, then it's like, okay, what else can I do? Then at that point, it's pretty much, all right, now they're possibly ready to, see, be ushered into a new way, to be coached into a new way, new habits, new way of being. And of course, that's what we do as coaches, right? We help to get you to the next level, and your your personal development, your emotional wellness, with your finances, the financial literacy and everything. It helps to get you to the next level. But I mean, that's what's happened. And to be honest, that is a very, very powerful force that we're attempting to reckon with. I mean, think about it. Like, really, really think about it. You have someone that has been for a long time in their family and the culture, the environment, society, all of that. That's like, hey, go to school, get good grades, get a degree, get a good job. That's what we hear all the time, right? And then not only that, but now you spent that time and that effort, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. Now you got some prestige behind your name, and you done paid all this money. Ain't nobody just walking away from that just like that. No, that's not. It's not happening, right? And it takes a shakeup. Well, I look. I don't know what else it would take besides like this pandemic. If this wasn't an awakening, if this was
absolutely.
Because I do know right now there are a lot of people, and some I know very personally, that they are going through some mental challenges behind this pandemic, and something that they probably always saw themselves doing or aware or whatever. And then when all this stuff happened, I mean, some folks need therapy.
Right, absolutely. Because they was not even prepared for it, and no one really could. Like, no, who was just ready for this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and now everything has to be adjusted. Like, everything that you know of is that's normal is not normal anymore.
No.
So that's going. So now there's a new normal that you just have to adapt to, right?
Yes.
And so that's what happens in this new way. And so if you don't have some type of skill, some trade, or some other ability, and all you know is, I got my degree, or I've been working this job forever, but you never stepped out to try to be an entrepreneur, or you never stepped out to believe in yourself because there's a product that you could offer, you're stuck. And you're stuck on trying to find out exactly what that is, if I have to do that. And so my thing is, how long are you going to do? Like you just said, what are you going to do? Are you going to just sit there and watch everything begin to demise and crumble? Or are you going to figure something out and fast on this new way of change? Because that's really all it is, change. But we have been so programmed, I love that word to use, to the point of we don't know what else to do. Like, you're going to have to just do something else, do something different. That is the whole point of how you regroup from this pandemic and the shock of this pandemic. You're going to have to do something different. You cannot rely on employer. You can't rely on people. we've lost people. So I mean, Coach, you know, we can talk about this all day. We over all the time. We overtime, but we really wasn't because we was trying to get into a trade before.
Right. And so we want to
So
go
we
ahead.
actually right at our hour.
Yes. You know, so this definitely concludes the Coach's Corner. And because it is Monday, you know, we had our Young Gun honor roll, you know, AP honor roll Young Gun on today, which was Ryahn Rogers. You know, we're celebrating him and congratulating him for you know, for that huge accomplishment. And then his birthday is Wednesday. You know, we have another guest on Wednesday, so that's why we didn't bring him on Wednesday.
On
But
Wednesday,
we have
right?
Rodney Barris that's coming up on Wednesday, so you want to make sure that you tune in for that, because Rodney
Will be here on the Coach's Corner Wednesday.
Yes, that is a treat.
Phenomenal.
So make sure that you tune in. But right now we're getting into our Young Guns presentation, where, you know, it's not the study hall. On Wednesdays we have the study hall, but today we're just on Mondays. You know, what we do is we just share with the parents and the students the Young Guns program, what, you know, what we're doing, what it's all about. So as a parent, make sure that you tune in with your student, so that you know, both of you all will know like how the program works and everything. And again, you see you know, Ryahn, I mean, he's just blowing up the charts, like for real. So
like literally blowing up the charts.
Right, he's really blowing up the charts. So you know, you want to go to newmembers.org, and the passcode is icon in all caps. That's newmembers.org, and the password is icon in all caps. And we're showing you what we're doing over here in the Young Guns program, because you know, look, I know Ryahn want to buy us a house and stuff. I mean, you know,
loving
like
it.
We you know, we're doing pretty well, but I guess he's like, no, we need a big old house.
Right. So, like, Mom, you got 7 kids. You got to stop playing. You got to stop. A 5-bedroom is not enough. It's 7. And add you and your husband, that's 9.
Okay. And then
Ryahn,
you know,
said, I got
to bringing the grandkids. So hey, look, go ahead and chip in with that house. You know, that's what you want to do.
I will not be upset.
Because you already know, look, the grandkids will be at my house anyway. Right? So you know, but that's so sweet. So
I mean, he's a brilliant young guy. I cannot wait to see him Friday. And just like I said, I'm hugging his neck. I'm gonna make sure he protected, but I'm hugging him hands down. I don't even know if he like hugs. If he like my nephew, they be like, no, it's not that serious. But oh well, Ryahn, you're gonna get it. So, Coach, that's our time. Do you want to close us out?
Yes. So again, youth entrepreneurship and development program. Go over to newmembers.org, password icon, and make sure you tune in to the Coach's Corner. We're here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Because look, this is what it's all about. The Coach's Corner, helping you get to your next level. So we will see you on the other side of success. Have a good evening. Peace.